Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Show here, and now, before we do begin, let us give a brief little review. In the last part, quite a number of things have happened. First off, we had Kara and Deku. These two, yeah. A lot of things have been happening for them. 2 weeks ago, their kryptonite exposure came to an end. The strange, quick, and awkward romance between Deku and Kara also came to an end, and the both of them will never speak about it to anyone ever, ever. Now, right now, Deku and Kara, they're put in a strange spot. However, after 2 weeks in the human public education system, Deku and Kara, they have made a bit of an impact. Deku more physically. Right now, Deku, he's spending time in school and still does have detention for what happened on the first day, where he sent somebody to the hospital. Now, meanwhile, Kara, she actually has been getting popular. And Deku, people who don't hang out around him, they're trying to steer clear. Especially because he's a part of the group of the weird guys from that one class. Now, with Cyborg Superman popping up, people are happy for his return. There's this thing that goes around eradicating people. There's these two, who they're no longer violent, but the last time they saw those two on television, they almost killed a man. And that was just from them knocking them around without what looked like superpowers. Now, the public does have to trust in these two. That's why they're happy that Superman has returned. But they're also somewhat skeptical about Deku and Kara because they don't trust Kal-El. They don't trust Superman. He's still the good guy. So what does that make them to the public's eye? Now, Deku tried to de-escalate and ask questions, more or less trying to keep the public preoccupied with those, while Deku, he tried to find out what was going on with Superman. Now, Deku and Kara, they haven't really found much. And the League, yeah, they're trying to stay out of a lot of this stuff. Right now, if they do try to get involved, that thing, it might either A, destroy the Watchtower, costing Batman billions, and B, attack the entire League with no restraint, at the level of Superman. Batman has seen no restraint on a Kryptonian, and he will tell you, that shit is frightening. Now, right now Batman, him and the League, they're backing away. However, if they do need to intervene, they will. They'll try to act fast, and hopefully with the means to take that thing down. Now, there actually is Deku and Kara. Today marks the full month that Superman has been in hibernation. Deku and Kara, they are still actually worried. Clark still has not woken up. And these two, they're still left to work together. Now, Deku, yeah. Right now he does talk about it with Kara, as him and her, they actually are out saving people. He doesn't fully understand it, but it does seem like Wonder Girl, she does always seem to need help. Now, right now Deku, he does fly there, as Kara does talk about how Cass, she does a lot of work. She actually is a very good fighter. She trains a lot, and she also does try to go out and patrol. He can't really blame her for needing the extra help. Now, Deku would say that he does understand, but it seems like it's been happening a lot more lately. Now, there actually is Kara, who actually will go to stop zooming with her eyes and turn her head, as she does stare directly at Duval, wondering for a second. No, he's messing with her, right? Now, Deku going to turn his head to look directly at her, asking her what, as she actually will go to look back towards their current objective. Now, the two, they're staking out a warehouse. Right now, somebody is supposed to be showing up. And when they do show up, they are going to be in a world of trouble. since this illegal arms deal, it might have something to do with alien tech. And that possibility, they're not going to leave that to chance. And Kara, while she was going to just fly in and attack, Deku had a better idea. They want to see how the cyborg handles this. And right now, Cyborg Superman, he would go to show up and watch what happens. Well, and they would go to watch what happens. Now, Deku and Kara, they would watch. And Deku is still trying to piece a few things together. Looking at the movements, trying to listen to the way he's breathing. And right now Deku is going to continue listening. As while he's staring at the cyborg, he does see a few things. He does get to shift his body. And Deku, he does go to use his X-ray vision. As right now, while he does try to see through what this thing's body is made of, he's trying to find it. There are certain things that he can't see through. And right now, it's not a cyborg. What? Use your X-ray vision. Now, Kara would go to do so. And right now she actually is a bit surprised. And Deku would go to comment. The symbol on his chest. What does it mean? Now, Deku would just stare at it. It looks like a horseshoe. But just turned or... No. You drew negative lines on it on the side? What does that symbol mean? Now, Deku does talk about it. As right now the cyborg, it will go to apprehend the perps. Now, right now Deku, he does watch the thing fly away. And Deku and Kara, their stakeout, for right now it's put to an end. And whenever the two do arrive back, there is where Deku does talk about it though. Trying to ask Kara for advice about Cass. Now, Kara was just going to tell her. How about he just tries to ask Cass for a spar? I mean, she wants to hang out with him. It's kind of obvious. Now, Deku, he does pause for a second. And right now he does try to think about what she does mean. Now, it takes Deku about a second. But within that second, he had enough time to think. Why exactly does she talk that way? The way her voice is raised, he's missing something. And the fact that he doesn't know what it is, he doesn't like that. So let's go through the steps. Okay, so let's see. Heightened voice sensitivity. Her voice was a few pitches higher. Yeah, okay, so that indicates surprise. Let's also see. The way her mannerisms were, they were flying, and he couldn't see her hand, but there was her face. The raise in the voice and the expression she gave him. Surprise. The statement that he made that surprised her was Cass wanting to spend more time around him. Now, Deku, he is going to say it out loud. And Kara, after she was going to walk away, she did hear him just say, "Oh." Now, Kara turned, and right now she did tell Deku as she went to go smile and laugh that he kinda is a little dense, and not the Kryptonian way. Now, Deku, he does stare at Kara, and right now she's gonna walk away since she does need to go check on Crypto. Now, with that, there actually is Deku, who he does start to understand quite a bit of things. Cass has a crush on him. That's why she's been trying to hang out with him more. I mean, it just makes a bit more sense now. I mean, the combat training too. Now, Deku, he does understand. And right now, after he does go to shower and go to relax, he does think about quite a bit of things. Before there actually is at lunch tomorrow, where Deku, he's sitting with Aqualad, Tim, Wally, and who else? I think I said Beast Boy was here, so let's throw him in there. Now, Deku currently is sitting with all of them, and right now he actually is going to talk about it. He wants to ask them all a question. What is it, man? What? You got something on your mind, man? can you guys give me advice about this chick? Oh, you're finally asking about Kara. What? I mean, not surprised. No, not her. I mean, the girl is blonde, but wait. Wait, are you talking about Cass? Now, Wally would actually going to lean in, expressing, if he's trying to ask out Cass, I'm pretty sure he's already got her in the bag. Now, they're going to stare at Wally, to which you go on to say, the girl's an Amazon. I mean, she was trained by Wonder Woman. Not many people can say that. Besides, she's actually a little intimidating, so she'd be perfect for him. Now, they're going to stare at Wally, to which Tim actually going to bring his hand up and express to Duville. He's going to need to slow down a bit. Wally's missing quite a few steps. And Tim would try to explain. Cass, yeah, she's a strong one. Stronger than him. He'll admit that. But she also does have a lot of training. And, well, as the secondary team leader, he will be stating this. Is he really sure that he does want to try and start a relationship with somebody on the team? Now, they're going to turn to Aqualad, who will go on to state, right now, if Duville does, well, pursue this, he does need to understand. He needs to be careful. Anything that does happen that is personal, it cannot affect team performance. He's fairly certain that Duville, he might understand what he's talking about. And Deku does understand. Do not let emotions get in the way of the mission. And right now, Deku, he'll go to tell Aqualad that that would be no problem from him. All he would need is an order. To which Aqualad, he'll go to tell Duville. Right now, the only order he really does need to worry about is the order of the world. And right now, we're going to ask, how are things going along with Superman? And Deku would somewhat go to look down and inform Aqualad. The current one isn't Superman. The one that they've been seeing on the news. And right now the guys, they would go to chat. But right now there actually is the girls. Kara, yeah. She would go to mention about how she talked to DeVille on patrol. And right now there actually is where Artemis, she does go to ask a few questions. Since, well, her patrol with another boy, it was a bit boring. Now, Artemis will go to ask about Duville. Since, I mean, what happened whenever they were exposed to that red kryptonite stuff? She's still confused about that. Now, Kara would someone going to skip over that, expressing them about how they don't really need to worry about that. They were exposed, and then they're fine now. I mean, it was embarrassing, but her going to freeze. And right now, Megan, she would ask, what was embarrassing? That I got tricked by him. Okay, is that what you want me to say? I didn't realize he was exposed. And whenever he exposed me, I felt like an idiot. I mean, I didn't feel like a literal idiot, but it's just so complicated, okay? I don't like talking about it. Especially because things felt weird. Now, I really do see Kara's face. She's embarrassed about this. Ooh, something happened there, didn't it? Now, the girls did try to question that. However, there actually is where Cass does try to ask Kara exactly about how he reacted whenever she talked to him. To which she would try to explain. He is denser than he looks. Now, that does say quite a few things already, as Kara does start to talk. Now, everybody, yeah, they go through the school day, and every day it would end the same way. They all split up and leave, and Deku and Wally, they have a race. Now, we do actually have back at headquarters, where right now, whenever Deku and Wally do come zooming in, Deku would actually going to hold up his hand, expressing to Wally, he really needs to stop making this bet. Now, Wally would going to bring up his hand, smacking down $10 before telling him, he wants a rematch tomorrow. He's getting faster. He knows he'll beat him once. Sure you will, Wally. Listen. Hang on a second. Now, Deku will go to turn, and right now he'll go to ask Batman, what exactly is he doing here? Now, Batman will come walking out of the shadows, and Wally, he'll go to ask, how does he do that? To which Deku would try to explain, going to open his mouth, as Batman, he'll go to tell them both. Right now he wants to introduce them to somebody who is a part of their team, now. Effective immediately. Try to get along with them, and, well, handle them. Now, Wally and Deku, they'll go to see Damien, who does go to step forwards, and right now Wally will go to comment. That's the new member? Now, Wally would someone go to zoom over, before expressing, bringing his hand up, that he's just some little, as you know, Damien will go to throw out his right hand. And Wally, who didn't expect anything, did not activate the Speed Force. And after being hit directly in his stomach, knocked in the throat, and then getting swept off of his feet by a kick to the back of the leg, Wally, he laid there in a bit of a heap. Now, Damien actually turned and looked directly at Duville. And right now Duville, he stood there as Damien, he walked over, expressing about how, so he must be the Kryptonian who was affected by the red kryptonite. Now, Deku will go to express, as right now Damien, he does go to bring his hand directly up to his belt. He does have to say, it was quite interesting from what he heard. He put everybody on high alert. That could be a risk. So he does want to know about the risk. How does he know that him being here on the team wouldn't affect everybody? He is a liability. Right now, fact is, with Lex incapacitated by his very hands, and the clone nowhere to be seen, what exactly does that mean? What about this Superman? He's had his doubts about him already. Could he take him down? Now, Deku was going to say to Damien, as Damien, after going to walk behind Deku, he is going to pull out a piece of kryptonite. And right now Deku was going to say, as he actually going to turn and throw up his own hand to Damien, that he can handle him. Now, Damien's a bit surprised when the kryptonite is knocked away. And right now Deku, after Damien went to go turn, he did go to try and grab his cape. Now, whenever Damien felt a pull on his cape, he threw up his hand and threw up his leg. As right now after he did go to unlatch his cape and Deku pulled it off, Damien threw a kick to get Deku's chest. Deku going to bring up his hand and block the kick as Damien, he pulled off the shoe and went running for the kryptonite. Now, Deku actually rushed towards him. And right now there actually is Wally, who we're going to look up and look at the two. As right now, him and Damien, they're both having a fight. And Damien actually is a bit caught off guard by this. This one is different from Superman. And right now after Batman is going to tell the two to cut it out, there's where Damien, he does actually go to lower his hand. And Deku, who did have both of his hands up still, he kept himself on guard. As Batman just started to explain to Damien, that is Duville. He actually is trained. And right now, he wants him to understand. Duville and him are a lot alike. So, Duville will be somebody Damien he answers to. Duville will be somebody that Damien he needs to actually worry about keeping in, what's the best way of saying it, good relations with. Right now, Duville, he's a good ally because he's like Superman, but he's not Superman. Now, Deku, he does stare at Damien. As right now Damien, he'll go to mumble something as he's going to walk away. And Deku, he does go to hear it. Now, right now Wally, he's still laying out on the ground. And Deku? Yeah, he still actually is a bit worried about what's going on. However, he does believe that they will be able to solve the Superman crisis. However, right now, that crisis, it's being put off for a second. As do actually have Deku. Deku currently, he does go up to the watchtower. Batman gave him another message. Deku needs to go talk to Lex Luthor. Luthor, he wanted a few words. And Deku, he's not going to go through this shit again. Now, Deku went to Lex, and he actually did want to talk to him about his clone, how he should dispose of it, and the most humane way, if that's even possible. Now, whenever Deku did go to see Lex, he floated there. And Lex, he laid there in a cast, to which you could at least go to comment. He is a little uncomfortable. Could he scratch his nose? No. Deku would have stared directly at Lex, not moving. As the man, he would just not roll his eyes, expressing. It was the least he could have done. Now, Deku just tell Lex he wants to know exactly where the clone is. And Lex is going to tell him. He's afraid that that's not possible. Right now the clone, yeah, it wasn't fully ready. He thought it was okay to take it out. And he was a bit caught off guard. The thing is still being worked on. And Deku would explain. He's aware of that. But it shouldn't even be alive. Right now, it needs to be destroyed. And there actually is whenever Lex is trying to explain. He's not going to allow that to happen. He wants to try and help. He wants to actually try and help them all. He's aware that that thing isn't Superman. He knows it as well, doesn't he? And Deku just stare at Lex. Right now he's making sense. That's not good. Now, Deku knows that Lex, given enough time, he might be able to convince him. But Deku, he's not going to let Lex have that time. Now, with that, Deku would try and tell Lex, cut to the chase, otherwise he's walking away. Now, Lex Luthor would go to try and explain, as he does try to say something that he wants Deku to understand. He wants Duville to understand quite a lot. Right now, there's a lot of things hiding in the dark. A lot of things hiding that he's not ready for. Right now, what's going on? Deku hearing someone's footsteps behind him. Right now, what's going on is quite simple. Now, Deku, he does listen to the cadence, the footprints, the footsteps. They're Batman. Now, Deku, he feels himself pause, as right now there's something on the back of Deku's neck, which would go to fade into his skin as Deku, he doesn't look back down towards Lex Luthor. Before Lex will go to explain, there's a lot of things in the dark, but they will be brought to light. All he has to do is listen to what he says. Now, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.